Now, I want to explain something to all of you. I need you all to understand something because, like I said, I'm going to use these videos to address my community at large, whether it be the local community here in Cairo or on an international level. Because as you all know, sometimes when I travel, generally when I travel and I go inside of a community and I move around within that community. Um, and these are the people generally that I address and people that I've never met. Those of you who I've been interacting with through social media and other areas, whether it's through my classes, anything, I consider this to be my community, the people that um, I interact with on a regular basis, you know. But I want to give you all a way of looking at something that I think could be beneficial to everyone, and it's something that I deal with when I'm out with my local community. So I need to give you a little backstory. From time to time, well, actually quite often, the brothers and I, or some of the brothers and I, will go out and we'll go to the coffee spot and we'll have some coffee, sit around, talk, and or we may go out to a place to eat, or if we go out to a lecture or things along these sorts. Generally, at the time for the Salah will come in, and we'll be out and about on the road, and it'll be time to stop and pray. If we don't make the first Jama'a, the first congregational prayer, what'll happen is we'll walk in the Masjid and we'll go make wudu or whatever, wherever we might be, and there'll be another Jama'a. And some of the brothers may get in before me and they'll go in and pray in the Jama'a and they'll realize, okay, well, Abdul-Lateef, he went off and prayed on his own. So what has come about is, okay, well, Abdul-Lateef doesn't like the second Jama'a, but we've seen him pray in the second Jama'a. Well, how come he prays and sometimes he doesn't? Is it a madhabi thing? No, listen. There is a reason, a religious reason, but it's not about not wanting to pray behind someone that's not of a particular madhab and things along these. It's not that. And it's not that I don't pray the Salat, the second Jama'ah, because I do sometimes. The reason behind it is this, and it's simple. And if you think about it, it makes sense. For those of you who have studied in detail the Salah and the rulings for the Salah, some of you have studied them with me. Some of you have studied it with other teachers. Right? If you've gone through these things, you understand that there are conditions that have to be met in order for your salah or your prayer to be acceptable. Right? And this is just studying fiqh in general. And if any of you are interested in picking up any of the classes, let me know in the comment section below. Inshallah, I'll get you the information to get you into one of the classes. But you understand that there are conditions that need to be met. Now we're going to take this and we're going to take it from a knowledge-based thing and apply it to real life. So this guy, we're going to call him Ahmed. He's getting ready to pray. In order for his prayer to be acceptable, he has to have within his prayer or tied to his prayer certain things. In order for his prayer to be said to be acceptable. Not accepted, but acceptable. Generally, we're going to find that people learn these things. People aren't just innately just, well, I know it. Regardless of how long we've been Muslim, that doesn't mean we're just going to know these things. So if it comes down to it, when I go in the masjid and I see people praying behind an individual, I don't have any idea who this individual is. I don't just automatically assume, listen, he has the knowledge that's necessary for his prayer to be accepted. Now, this is different than if he's an appointed imam of the masjid or someone that I know that the appointed imam has set up and said, okay, well, listen, if I'm not here, you lead the salah. It's not that type of a situation. Right? Or someone that I see that people of knowledge, they pray behind. In this situation, I say, okay, well, listen, go ahead and and I'll pray behind them. But if it's just anybody, I don't know who they are, whether or not they know or don't know, I'm not going to assume that they know better than I know. I'm not going to say, okay, his salah is acceptable. His may or may not be acceptable, but I know enough at least to make my salah acceptable. Not accepted, but acceptable. I'm not going to take the chance praying behind him and taking him as a leader in the salah and leave off my salah. Do you understand what I mean? Or leave off me praying by myself. I'm going to go the thing that I feel comfortable with. Now, if I feel comfortable with him, of course, I'm going to join in behind him, especially if there's other people joining behind him. Because why? Because of the fact that I see, okay, well, listen, I know the benefit of praying in the Salat and Jama'a. You understand? In this situation, that's fine. But if I'm not sure, if I don't know, yes, I'm going to pray by myself. And if you think about it, that's what makes sense. It doesn't make sense for us to be rushing to pray in a Jama'ah behind someone that we're taking someone that, I mean, think about the concept. We're taking someone as a leader that we don't know, can they lead? Or is their salah even acceptable for them, let alone for us to be following us and us to be seeking reward from what they're doing? And we don't even know, listen, do they know what they're doing? Do they know how to do what they're doing? Just because they've been Muslim for a longer time, or just because they're Arab, or just because, no, the usul is ignorance until knowledge is achieved. I don't just automatically assume people know what they need to know. And I'm not going to take that chance with something as important as my prayer. Now, I'm not saying it's not valid. You can't, that your prayer isn't acceptable and things like. I'm not telling you this. I'm explaining why I don't do it, because I get asked about this a lot. Well, how come you didn't join? Well, how come you didn't join? Well, how come you prayed by yourself? Now, to make it more clear, I don't get asked this a lot presently, but I've been asked over the years through my travels. So, and I also, to be honest with you, I know other people deal with these type of situations. So now when you see people doing this, don't assume that the person, it's a not like thing, or okay, it's a madhab thing, or anything of the sorts. Or this is an individual that believes that the Salah second Jama'ah is invalid. No, it's not necessarily any of those things. Many times, you have to look at who you're looking at that's doing this and see, okay, is this person, if I think that they know, maybe there's a religious reason that they're doing it. That maybe it's just something I don't understand. Because when you go back and you relook at this video, and I advise you relook at the video, you'll see that the reason behind doing it makes sense. You'll understand, for those of you who have taken the time out to learn how to pray correctly. It doesn't make sense for you to have taken that time out to do that and then taking a chance with someone that may or may not know how to pray correctly, that may not have what it takes in order for their prayer on an individual level to be acceptable. So how does it make sense for us to take and to follow behind an individual like this if we know, okay, well, we know how to do it on our own? Now, without a shadow of a doubt, I don't want any of you to come back and say, well, the Jama'ah is better than the Salah by the individual by themselves. You're absolutely right, and I agree, and I'm the first one to tell you that. But this isn't that situation. This isn't what we're talking about. And if what I said isn't clear, then inshallah, leave the comments in the comment section. And inshallah, I'll address those your comments. But hopefully, what I'm telling you makes sense and it resonated with some of you. If you have any questions, let me know. Any comments. And again, I'm asking you all to help me help you. Make sure you don't skip through this video and don't like it. Like it, leave your comments, subscribe to this particular part of the channel, inshallah, and set up your notifications so it'll let you know every time we drop a new video in this particular part, the community circle. And bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, I'll see you in the next video. جزاكم الله خير وبارك الله فيكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.